It is about to go down as the Phoenix Suns take on the Oklahoma City Thunder for the second time this year in what will be one of the most entertaining and chippiest games of the NBA season thus far. And we're going to get into exactly how the Phoenix Suns plan to attack the almost undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder and how they plan to play without one player in particular, which we will get into later in today's video. But guys, before we get into all of this and more, we noticed that 98.4% of you are not subscribed. So please make sure to hit that sub button. Totally free and easy way to support Phoenix Suns Digest if you want daily Phoenix Suns news. But guys, without further ado, let's just head into this matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. We know that the last matchup that they had was a pretty narrow game. You can see there 119 to 123. They really did try to keep it close through all four quarters. I mean, you can see there first quarter 25 to 25, and the second it was 27 to 31. In the third they had it 38 to 30, and then after fourth quarter they managed to drop it there. Seems that after halftime they seem to really lose kind of their momentum a little bit there, but that's going to happen against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. I mean, there's a reason why they've only lost one game so far this season, and we're actually going to get into exactly who that team is and how the Phoenix Suns managed to beat that team in particular twice now this season. But let's take a look at the box score here, specifically for the Oklahoma City Thunder, because there's one factor in particular that wins the Phoenix Suns, the Oklahoma City Thunder basketball games, and of course that is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who besides all of his three-level scoring prowess, he is a free throw merchant. I mean, he just is. I know a lot of the people don't like to hear that, especially big Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lovers. But I mean, at the end of the day, he really is a free throw merchant, guys. I mean, he gets every single whistle that you can think of. It doesn't matter if anybody touches him and if they don't touch him. I mean, there's plenty of examples you can see where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't getting any contact whatsoever, and the referees still give him special treatment, and he's just going to get to the line. And you know, that's not really something that the Phoenix Suns can do anything about. There's no way they can. I mean, there's not really any specific way that they can defend him. If he gets to the line, he gets to the line. And that's one of the big things going in tonight is that you just have to make him uncomfortable. You have to make sure that he's not going to get to his spots, his favorite hot spots to shoot from. Guys in particular that I would like to see defending Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tonight is Ryan Dunn and Grayson Allen, who didn't play last game, which is a big factor heading into tonight because that adds, of course, the size advantage a little bit more, also some great perimeter defense and some hustle, and of course the three-point shooting from Grayson Allen. Ryan Dunn, who's actually coming to his own right as a pretty efficient three-point shooter so far, just in his second year in the NBA. But kind of going back to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here, of course, you just have to limit his scoring prowess as much as you possibly can. And, you know, that's easier said than done, obviously. I mean, he was the points per game leader last year. He is top 5 in points per game right now. And there's just no easy way to stop the reigning MVP. So that's one of the big things going into tonight that needs to be put into effect to really help them win this game. Another guy that could be put on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, of course, is Dillon Brooks, who's going to do his best to get into his head and defend him and annoy him as much as he possibly can. Even Colin Gillespie and Jordan Goodwin are guys that I'm thinking of right now that could really give Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the business and make sure that, you know, he's uncomfortable and he's not going to get any easy buckets tonight, because that's the identity of this Phoenix Suns team so far this season is tenacity, determination, and hustle. We're going to look at a stat actually later today in this video that kind of depicts how their identity has been this season about that and how they're keeping basketball games in their hands and they're controlling the flow of the game, and how they managed to impress so far this season and defy all of the expectations. But overall, guys, that is kind of how you look at the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander situation right now going into tonight's game and how you can effectively stop him. I mean, there's no really one way you can stop someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You really just kind of have to, just play your best defense, hustle, and really hope for the best. The injury report for tonight, if you take a look, though, you can see that Devin Booker is questionable tonight. Jordan Ott had some comments about that, which we'll look at a little bit later. But, of course, Jalen Green is still out. Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be out tonight. He actually was out for the last game as well. So Mark Williams is going to have to take up an advantage there against Chet Holmgren, who is, is a great rim protector. But of course, Mark Williams is a lot stronger than Chet Holmgren, or at least he should be. So it'd be nice to see him get down there in the low post. He's been excellent at the rim this year, so hopefully he can keep that up. Isaiah Joe is going to be out, which is, an advantage to the Phoenix Suns. Isaiah Joe is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. He is an excellent defender in his own right as well. And they have Nikola Topic and Thomas Sorber, who are going to be out. But of course, they weren't going to get as much playing time as we thought. Of course, Nikola Topic is dealing with his cancer diagnosis, which, of course, we hope that he pulls through that quickly and gets back on the basketball court. But, yeah, Thomas Sorber and Nikola Topic, of course, probably not going to get as much playing time. They're kind of lower on the rotation spot. I want to get back to the box score here, and specifically Phoenix's box score. And, of course, if you watch the game, they had 20 turnovers. And that's obviously going to happen against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have a historically great defense. I mean, I believe they're the best defense in modern recent history. So, of course, that's going to happen against this team. There's nothing you can really do about it. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder, pretty much everybody on this team can play basketball on both ends of the floor. I mean, you have Shea, you have Cason Wallace, you have Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, both Jalen Williams, I should say, Chet Holmgren. Literally all of these guys can do everything. I mean, they fight over screens, their deflections, they get their hands on the ball, they're super physical. I mean, there's just nothing that this team can't do. So this is something that is going to play into tonight, is just their tenacity on defense, and that's something that the Phoenix Suns have been really identifying with, and that's why they're winning games, and that's something that they need to, of course, uphold for tonight's game and make sure that they continue on the success that they've been doing so far. I mean, that's the only way that they're going to win against the Oklahoma City Thunder, is to just they need to want it more than the other team, and that's obviously what they've been doing so far this season, and what's continued to help them defy expectations. Now, Jordan Knott had something to say about Devin Booker here. He said that he's been able to get on the court the last couple of days, and they continue to assess to see exactly how he feels after tonight and after that initial early session, and then we'll see on Wednesday. So, of course, Devin Booker is questionable for tonight's game. Hopefully he does play, but obviously you don't want to rush an injury like that. I mean, he's always had a history here with his groin injuries, and he has been rushed back from it before, and of course that has sidelined him out for an extended period of time, and that's not what we want for the Phoenix Suns this season. They've been rolling so far, so you don't want to be without your superstar tonight, of course, but I mean, if he's not 100%, then you don't play him. But of course, he didn't have his best game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, they did a really great job of guarding him and doubling him when he needed to be. They made sure they make him uncomfortable and not let him get to his spots, especially in the mid-range where he really does thrive. So they did a really good job of defending Devin Booker, and it's going to be tough to not see him on the court tonight if he ends up not playing, but of course we do hope that he does. There's also some comments here from Jordan Knott had on Jalen Green, saying Jalen Green, who's only played one complete game this season and has now been out suffering his injury since November 10th, is also due for reevaluation this week. So that's good to hear that he might be back in the coming month here. So far, after maybe January, I'd say we'd probably see him back on the basketball court, and Jordan Knott said he seems to be making good progress. You can see him doing more and more. We'll continue to assess, but at this point he's going to continue to make progress. We'll let you know as soon as the thing gets right, and we'll be able to put him out there. So great to hear that Jalen Green is making some good progress in his rehab, and hopefully we do see him on the basketball court soon. And, of course, Dillon Brooks, who was dealing with a questionable injury going into Monday's game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He ended up playing that game, and he's not on the injury report anymore. But, Jordan Knott actually had mentioned something after the game. He didn't notice him getting injured on the floor in Phoenix. He only noticed after the game that he was kind of had a little limp going, or, he wasn't the same after the game. But good to see that Dillon Brooks is healthy. He played excellent against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he's going to be an absolutely vital piece in tonight's game. But, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think about this game heading into tonight. They're playing at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let me know what you think that they can do to make sure that they seal the win tonight and move on in the NBA in-season tournament. That's going to do it for today's guys. And as always, go Suns.